With Bradley Beal being traded from the franchise this summer, the Wizards were left without a franchise cornerstone, and fans were left wondering who would be the next guy for Washington. Many thought it could be Jordan Poole, an exciting young guard who they traded for in the summer, and who was an integral piece of the Warriors title in 2022 at just 22 years old. However, his first year in Washington has been an abject disaster, with his points dropping from 20 to 15 per game and shooting just 40% from the field and 30% from deep. He also has the worst VORP, which stands for value over replacement player, in the entire league at negative 1.4. Maybe their next guy could be Kyle Kuzma, who'd been a top 3 player in Washington for a couple years already. He's been solid this season, averaging 22, 6, and 4, while shooting 46% from the field. He's a really solid player, and many teams wanted him at the deadline, but he'll never be the best player on a truly competitive team. It turns out the true next guy for Washington was there all along, and a guy that the team drafted themselves 9th overall in 2020. That would be Deni Avdija, a 6'9" small forward out of Israel. He's been with the team for 4 years now, but had kind of become a forgotten rotational piece around the league, and had only started about 50% of his games. At the beginning of this season, a lot of people likely would have said he was a disappointment, considering where he was drafted. But he's been much improved this year, and like Kuzma, drew a lot of interest from good teams at the deadline. For the season, he's averaged 14 points and 7 rebounds per game on really good shooting splits, at 52% from the field and 41% from 3. But the breakout has come as of late, as we're fresh off a 43-point outing in his last game. Over the last 4 games now, Deni has averaged 28 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, while shooting 62% from the field and 50% from deep. It looks like he's becoming the best player on the Wizards, and emerging as the cornerstone guy they've been looking for. He's an incredible rebounder for the 3 spot, a solid to good defender, and if the scoring can keep up, then he's just an incredibly well-rounded, high-impact player. Deni Avdija is the future of the Washington Wizards. Now let's take a deeper look. Before we get into the player breaking out in the nation's capital, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 96% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watched me before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. Deni Avdija's quiet breakout season for the Washington Wizards just got a lot louder. The Israeli forward, now in his 4th year with the team, has been flourishing despite the struggles of the Wizards, who currently rank as the 2nd worst team in the league. However, in a remarkable display of skill, Avdija exploded onto the scene with an astounding performance on Wednesday, tallying 43 points and 14 rebounds. This feat marked the first time in almost 50 years that a player achieved such numbers for the team. During his 40 minutes on the court, Avdija showcased his prowess by sinking 13 of 24 shots, including 6 3-pointers out of 10 attempts. Additionally, he contributed 3 assists and a block to the stat sheet. Despite the Wizards falling short in a 133-126 loss to New Orleans, Avdija's impact was undeniable. When he was actively playing, the Wizards outscored the Pelicans by 14 points. To put it into perspective, during the 8 minutes he sat out, the Wizards faced a staggering 21-point deficit. The recent display underscores a significant shift in Deni Avdija's offensive capabilities, signaling a turning point in his career after facing some scoring challenges in his first 3 years. Before Wednesday's breakout, Avdija had never surpassed 25 points in a single game. However, against Dallas on Monday, he achieved this milestone, and in 3 of the 4 games preceding that, he scored 21 or more. While his overall statistical performance has seen marked improvement across the board, with averages of 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists before his standout performance, these advancements have largely flown under the radar due to their less flashy nature. Thus, Wednesday's remarkable performance, a feat last accomplished for Washington in 1977 by Hall of Famer Elvin Hayes, was not solely attributable to a hot streak, although that undoubtedly did play a role. Demonstrating the aggressive play style that has defined his game this year, Avdija also made significant contributions from the free throw line, attempting 13 shots there and sinking 11. Traditionally regarded by Wizards fans as a cerebral player whose impact transcended box score metrics, Avdija has emerged as arguably the team's most efficient player. The surge in his stats reflects a growing confidence in his ability to both drive and shoot, with his career field goal percentage rising from an unimpressive 43% to a solid 52% this season. This improvement has been particularly evident in his three-point shooting, where his career percentage of 31%, indicating he could be left open, has jumped to an impressive 41%, a definite deterrent for opponents. Avdija's newfound aggressiveness is perhaps best exemplified by his increased presence around the rim. In the entire previous season, he managed only 29 dunks, yet on Wednesday night alone, he notched his 31st of the current season. Despite the Wizards' struggles, having won just 9 out of 54 games thus far, Avdija's performance has garnered attention across the league. Recently featured in the Ringers compilation of the NBA's most untradeable players, he appears poised to enter discussions for the annual Most Improved Player award. This transformation serves as a validation of the Wizards' faith in Avdija, whom they selected as the 9th overall pick in the 2020 draft, the highest ever for an Israeli player. This offseason, they further demonstrated their confidence by signing him to a lucrative 4-year, $55 million contract extension, which could end up looking like a steal in the long term. While 2 players chosen before him and 2 after him in the draft have already earned All-Star selections, performances like Wednesday suggest that Avdija could be next. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.